The division is ours. I don't care what Houston did yesterday. They're going to go get their Letterman jackets again. The Indianapolis Colts are 2-6 against the Titans since Pat McAfee came up here and did his wrestling announcement. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they haven't had back-to-back winning seasons since I was a senior in high school.
Everybody catching.
I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush. Cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got wealth. But I'm on my grind like park rails. I'd sell the shoes right off my 2 feet, then add one, that's a yard sale. Got dumb bars that be smarter than Harvard, Yale. Take your pictures elsewhere, you wanna be TMZ, I wanna be VIP. Quit pandering, I'm not answering, cause I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. All of that bark and no bite, that's alright. Not everyone can be the big dog. Take a walk, kick rocks, can't keep me out cause I pick locks. They hearing me knocking, I'll never be stopping. I keep this shit popping like lip gloss. Get me pissed off and the whole squad point the red dots. Something like chicken pox, give me all what you got like it raw, shimmy y'all. Feeling like Tony Hawk, never stop, let it rock, better not get involved. Running a marathon and you a tourist. This my world, you a tourist. Fuck with the bullet, you get in the horns, I'm a tourist. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it
What's up, everybody? This is Maximus Titan fan and your boy
Flame Douglas, man. Often imitated, never duplicated. Tighten up, baby.
And we are the Titans Fan Battle Podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight, part of the Fan Battle Sports Network. And tonight we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about our defense is the main topic for tonight. So we're gonna start off basically just listing off who we think are going to be starters. You want to start with that?
Yeah, who I think going to be stars? Well, of course, I mean, first of all, let me say defense was probably our strongest part of the team last year. I mean, our defense is the rock of the Titans, always has been. So, I mean, hey, we just got to keep building on what we got. And, of course, our star player on defense is Big Jeff, man. We finally got Big Jeff locked up. He got a big bag now, so now he can go out there and play. Even though last year they kind of say he had a down year, but come on, man, the man played injured. He gave us a great effort last year. Even though we were struggling in some places on the field, everything wasn't together. But hey, Big Jeff, we're gonna start at Big Jeff. Defensive line, I'm loving our front seven, man. Our front seven is probably going to be that's probably going to be one of the strengths of the team. We got Big Jeff at the defensive tackle. I mean, come on, we can't go wrong with that. We bringing back Tierra Tart. We re-signed him today, so now he got a bag.
Yes,
so now he can go out there and play. I mean, everybody play better when they got a little money in their pocket. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
When the bag is there, you're more comfortable. You can buy your house in Nashville, and you come get some sacks. And also, last but not least, we got Denico Autry, man. Denico Autry, hey, he is the X factor on the Titans defensive line, man. That guy is clutch. I mean, him and Big Jeff together, that's two Mississippi State players. They gel so good together. Like, that's just going to be a good dynamic team. And I said last but not least, but how could I forget about the man who got the real bag, Harold Landry? You know what I mean? A lot of people forgot about Harold Landry, because he was out last year. He tore his ACL before the season started. But come on, let's not forget about what he did the year before last with those 12 sacks now. Man, that guy, he's a monster, man. He's so fast coming off that ball. And they try to say, he might not be what he used to be off the ACL, but don't count Harold Landry out, man. So yeah, also on that front seven, we got so we're gonna move to the linebackers, man. We got what about the signee that we got from San Francisco? Bear with me as I say this dude's name, Azeez Al-Shaair. A lot of people are liking that guy. They saying he all around the ball. He's pretty fast. For a linebacker, he got pretty good speed, and we're going to need him to replace our loss when we lost David Long Jr. That was kind of a big loss. So if he can give us, what David Long gave us, plus a little bit more, a little bit speed, be in the backfield a little bit more, no more missed tackles, we're going to be all right. Another linebacker we bringing, was not bringing back, but another one of our big signings, Arden Key. Man, that's probably the defensive player I'm most excited about. Like, that dude is explosive, man. Like, we seen what he did to us when we played against Jacksonville last year. That dude is a playmaker. What you think about Arden Key, Max?
Well, I just love, not only do I love his play, and the what I've seen in OTA so far, but his moxie, the way he carries himself, his attitude, I love that kind of player, that dude that just loves to show up and play football.
Yeah, for sure. And then, we bringing back a player who, I can't say he's a spectacular player, but he's solid. And I just want to see him keep getting better and better. Monty Rice. Right now he's projected to be our starting inside linebacker. As far as tackling, Monty Rice was pretty solid. He doesn't give up a lot of big plays. I don't really want to see him covering a lot of these tight ends that we struggle with, but I do want to see him inside those gaps, filling those gaps, tackling those running backs, and helping these guys, on defense. So that's like the defensive line. And don't forget Rashad Weaver. He's a nice depth guy that we can use on both ends. We can plug him in somewhere because he started off last year having a decent season. It kind of slowed down at the end, but he's a nice plug and play guy on that defensive line that can make big plays. And our front seven is definitely my favorite part. Going to be my favorite part of the defense. What you got for us, Max?
Oh, absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to Monty Rice because, I'm a Georgia fan. So I really want Monty Rice to do well, but we'll see.
Yeah.
As far as the backfield goes, the cornerbacks going to be, I think the outside's going to be Christian Fulton and Sean Murphy-Bunting.
Okay.
I think he's going to win the starting spot on the other side over a shorter. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying the Christian Fulton is like a Christian Fulton / Roger McCreary.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But because personally, I think I kind of like Roger McCreary just a little bit better than Christian Fulton. But, I only seen 1 year of Roger McCreary. And so we're going to see what he can give us. He got beat on some plays, but I thought the guy was solid overall. Just don't throw no Greg Maben or no none of these third, fourth string cornerbacks out there. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. No, I don't want to see none of that neither. But yeah, that's who I've got. He's obviously I've got. If I had Fulton as the starter, I've got McCourty as my slot, or vice versa. Either way, that works out. Obviously the safeties are locked down. Hooker and Byard, they're not going anywhere. And then I'm going to kind of
hopefully now Byard better get his ass to practice a mini count soon. So Byard,
we'll see.
Ass mini count, buddy.
He'll be there. I got faith in my boy, man. I don't worry about Kevin Byard. He takes care of business, and he's a hometown man. He's from Mayor Murfreesboro, man. And besides, I love saying Mayor Murfreesboro. It just rolls right off the tongue, man. If they take him away from me, I'm gonna be so mad because I just love talking about the Mayor Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I love Kevin Byard. I got a signed Kevin Byard jersey, so I'll be sick if that guy wasn't to be a Titan. But he'll be here. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Let's move on.
All right, yeah, we'll have to talk about that later. I am going to talk quickly about the special teams. Kind of goes with the defense, but not really. main returner, they have him as Kyle Phillips. I don't know if I really trust Kyle Phillips to be returning my balls. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Now if he looks really solid in preseason, all right, maybe you give him a shot and let him go.
Yeah.
But if he don't, man, I really feel like Tajay Sharp is probably gonna be our number
Tajay
one
Spears
kick returner. He's definitely the kick returner. He might be the punt returner too, because he is just explosive everywhere on the field, and I feel like they're gonna give him a lot of opportunities to have the ball, and I feel like that's just the way it is. So
at this point, man, we due for somebody explosive on the kicker and the punt return game, man. Like for years, the Titans have been lacking somebody with that explosiveness. Now, I thought we had it a couple years ago when we plugged Adoree Jackson in there, but he just didn't pan out. I mean, then he became a risk for injury, so they quit using him as much. But man, please let Tajay Spears evolve into that playmaker on punt and kick return, man. We need it.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm going to address that real quick. Michael, don't worry about that so much. The turnover at linebacker is because Mike Vrabel was a linebacker, and he coaches amazing linebackers. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm kind of upset with my boy Monty Rice, because if you can't earn a starting spot or develop into a great linebacker under Mike Vrabel, then you have a serious problem.
Yeah, I agree with
that. Safety is not the same thing. So I don't think we have to worry about him interfering with safety as much as he does with that. Thank you. I love you, dear. As far as the punter goes, everybody knows we got the best punter in the NFL. Maybe not the best, but he's got the biggest leg. If the guy can start aiming them punts, he's going to be the best punter. We got him locked down for years to come, I hope.
Shout out
Stonehouse. Yes, that's right, Stonehouse.
Shout out Stonehouse, man. That dude got a leg on him.
And the last thing is kicker. I want to talk about kicker. The kicker is a story actually I did on fanbattlesports.com. If y'all ain't went there, go check them out. They got some great stories on every team in the AFC South. You can look up your enemy or your friends. And anyway, kicker situation, basically Trey Wolff has not missed a kick in OTAs yet. Everybody is penciled in Caleb Shudak as the starter automatically on the depth charts that everybody's put out, but I believe that Trey Wolff has already kind of wedged his way in there simply because Wednesday we got a report that we did not see Ryan Shudak at all. He did not get an attempt.
Wow.
There was no word on injury or anything like that. And then I looked it up, and he wasn't there on Friday either. So,
man, they done kick Ryan Shudak ass to the curb.
I mean, it sounds like it. So I think Trey Wolff might have already wedged his way in there. And I hope not. I hope they keep the competition going, because the more competition, the better. But, hey, whatever.
Hey, I'll take either one of them over Fat Randy. So as long as we got Fat Randy up out of there, I'll take either one of those young guys kicking their ball, man.
So, I don't know if anybody watches my little reels that I did before I started this podcast with my boy here. I'm a huge fan of Colton Dowell. Oh, yeah. I really believe that the kid is going to be something explosive. And honestly, I see him at the beginning of the season. I don't see him getting a lot because he's a rookie and stuff. But I see him towards the end of the season. I think they might even start lining him up opposite of Treylon Burks at wide receiver number 2 spot.
He's one of those guys that, I mean, he had such a good, productive college career that the transition to the pros should be kind of easy. Like, and we don't run a real hard offense to run. Basically it's play action. We probably got probably the smallest route tree in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So hey, if Colton Dowell can go out there and just get a little separation, he's a pass catcher, like you said last week on last show. And don't forget what he did for UT. And they had pro style corners, a pro style defense. If Colton Dowell can just give us a little bit of separation off that line from the corners and give Tannehill the smallest window and catch the ball, and he's gonna have a good career here as a Titan. Whether it's Tannehill throwing the ball or Will Levis or Malik Willis or whoever it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's a good point. So speaking of Will Levis, no, let's not do that. I'm sorry. Let's go into our Legends segment. Do you want to go first this time, or do you want to let me?
The legend. I'll go first this time. I think you went first last week, right?
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, so last week I had a defensive player. This week I had to transition to offense. We got a handful of Titans legends on offense, but I went with the one, the only tight end, Frank Wycheck. Baller. When I say baller, Frank Wycheck was a baller, man. He was so reliable. Like when Steve McNair needed to get a first down and the wide receivers wasn't open, it seemed like Frank Wycheck always got open. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the biggest guy, but it was something about his athleticism, how it was set up. He always got open. So his career with the Titans, this isn't his full career. This is only his stats with the Titans. He had 482 receptions. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler. In 2000, he was an All-Pro. So he played with the Titans from 1995 to 2003. So as I said, he got 482 receptions, 4,958 yards, and 27 touchdowns. And when it comes to receptions, he caught the ball 68.4% of the time. He didn't drop the ball. When I say reliable, Frank Wycheck was reliable, man. Number 89 always seemed to get open. And don't forget, he was the one who made the pass on the Music City Miracle. He was the first
That's
one.
Right.
He was the first one who the ball went to, and he made the pass to Kevin Dyson to make the play. Shout out to Frank Wycheck. He was calling Titan games with Mike Keith for a while, but I think he had to take a step away from that. But yeah, man, hey, as a Titans fan, you got to know your legends, man. And Frank Wycheck was definitely he's definitely one of, if not the best tight end in Titans history, man. Shout out to Frank Wycheck.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's one of my favorite players. I think he is probably the number one tight end in Titans history. I mean, Delanie Walker's a close second.
Close, real close. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, the type of player he was, I liked him better because of his, I like the attitude and I like the kind of the cockiness. Plus, I actually met Delanie Walker and got his autograph, and he was actually a really cool guy. Like I was amazed at how down to earth he was. Yeah,
he seemed like a real pretty cool guy. So, and everybody loved him as a teammate. So. Yeah, I can see. You know what? I can even see why some people say he was the best tight end. They pick him over Frank Wycheck because I'm not sure of Delanie Walker's stats, but he might be real close to Frank Wycheck, and he might even have more touchdowns. I'm not sure, but I know it's close though.
Yeah, he's got really, really close stats to Frank. I don't think he got the yardage like you said, but I do think he might have either tied him or beat him out on the touchdowns just because Delanie Walker was like a touchdown machine. But anyway, Frank Wycheck is what you were talking about. Frank Wycheck is a Titans legend. Frank Wycheck was the man.
Yeah, he was. He was the man. Shout out Frank Wycheck, man. Who you got for us on defense, Max?
All right, man. For me, it was easy. My wife's favorite player, Keith Bullock.
Okay.
Mr. Monday Night.
Yes, sir, man.
All right. And the reason they called him that is because he was famous for getting interceptions on Monday Night Football. Man. And one of the last seasons he was with us, he was on a Monday night game, and the announcers were even calling him Mr. Monday Night because it was so well known at that point. And he had 3 interceptions in that game, folks. It was beautiful. Oh, it was almost like Mr. Monday Night was on fire.
Man, that was against the Saints, right?
I do believe it was. Yeah. Good memory. Wow.
That was a good game, man.
Yeah. I think you're right. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't look that up.
Hey, real Titan fan, man. You talk to a real Titan fan, man.
It's not often I get out outwitted on Titan stuff. He played for us for 9 years. He was 6'3", 244. He ran a 4.40 out of college.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah,
Syracuse. Yep. Man had, for the Titans, he had 1,057 tackles, 18 sacks, 15 forced fumbles, 19 interceptions, and 6 touchdown receptions as a linebacker, y'all. We're not talking about a quarterback. We're not talking about safety. He's a linebacker.
Put some respect on his name. Shout out Keith Bullock, man. That was one of my
Bullock is the man.
Yeah, he definitely one of my favorite Titans of all time, man. He definitely a legend.
Some quick fun facts about Keith Bullock and what an awesome player, what an awesome Titan, and what an awesome Tennessee representative he is. 2023 was announced Tennessee Hall of Fame inductee. In 2002, he became the starter for the Titans. 2003, he made his first Pro Bowl 1 year. 2004, he led the NFL in tackles with 152 tackles. 152. Sorry.
NFL,
yeah, I know that's a lot, man. 150
tackling machine.
That's crazy. In 2007, he had a Titans record, 5 interceptions for a linebacker. That's the Titans record, and he led the Titan in tackles for 5 years out of his 9-year career.
Wow.
He also in 2020 he just opened a Just Love Coffee in Franklin, Tennessee. If you haven't been by there and you're in the area, you should go visit it because a lot of the proceeds go to the big brother and big sister of Tennessee. He does a lot for the underprivileged youth in Middle Tennessee still to this day. Lives right here in Franklin. He's a great man. I love Keith Bullock. Legend.
It's legend, man. Shout out to Keith Bullock, man. Definitely one of the best linebackers we've ever had. Can you go ahead and say the best linebacker we ever had in Titans history, bro? Like Keith Bullock.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I just had to think. I had to think because we've had some great ones.
We don't have some good linebackers, but Keith Bullock's up there, bro. You got to give it to Keith Bullock. I'm thinking you got to give it to Keith.
Another fun fact that I didn't include in my lookup, but I just know, but he was the first player to retire from the Titans. From the Titans era.
From the Titans franchise. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Keith Bullock, man. Number 53 Monday, Mr. Monday Night Football, man. Hey, legend. Like I said, if you're gonna be a Titans fan, you gotta know your legends, man. So tonight we got Frank Wycheck on offense, and my boy Max came with Keith Bullock on defense. Legends, man. Y'all keep looking out for this legend segment, man. We having it every week.
That's right. And for all you young fans out there, I'm going to continue to tell you, if you don't know who these people are that we're talking about, go Google them, YouTube them, watch some videos, some highlight views. You'll see some bad hitting football. It's back in the day football.
Yeah, nice. For sure. Because when Nissan Stadium was called the Adelphia Coliseum. You'll learn some stuff, man.
That's right. That's why there's all kinds of stuff to the Nashville area that leads to Greek stuff.
Yeah.
That's why we're the Titans.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and just move on into our next segment. Our next segment is going to be a new segment that we're trying out. It's going to be the fan question segment. So our fan question of the week, actually,
a good question too. I mean, it's a question a lot of people want to know.
Yeah, it came from a gentleman. I'm trying right now as fast as I can to get his name up because I didn't have it ready. But I'll go ahead and say the question, and I'll go ahead and let you answer while I find it. It basically is Levis going to start this season at any point?
Okay, so the question came from Ben Sawyer. Shout out to Ben Sawyer for having the question.
Thank you.
The fan question of the week. His question was, I'm curious, what do you think about how long they'll keep Levis out if the season doesn't seem to be going well in borderline playoffs? Sure. Is it a sure bet to sit out the whole year, or do you think at some point they'll roll the dice to get in the playoffs? That's a good question. That's a good question, Ben. And right now, I mean,
Thanks for having my back, dude.
Yeah, come on, man. That's a good question, Ben. And right now, I mean, everybody want to know that question because I mean, truthfully, our quarterback position is not set in stone. We don't know if the Titans are going to roll with Ryan Tannehill, or we don't know if Tannehill might get shipped off at any moment for a couple players, and we might just roll with Will Levis. But personally, I said this on the first show. Personally, I think we should ride it out with Ryan Tannehill. We paying that man an arm and a leg. Nobody's going to take over that contract from Tannehill. Nobody's going to pay him what we're paying him. Let's ride it out with Ryan. He was injured last year, and we didn't provide him the offensive line to make plays. So we built the offensive line back up. Let's rock it out with Ryan Tannehill. But you saying what we're gonna do about Will Levis? I feel like, honestly, my opinion, I don't think Will Levis will see the field that much this year. I feel like that's if Tannehill stays healthy. I'm saying big if, because I mean we know he had the ankle injury. He says he's feeling better. He's 100%, but I don't think if Tannehill's playing good like he has the whole time he's been here. I mean, because you say what you want to say about Tannehill. Regular season, the dude balls out. I mean, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He wins games. He puts us in the best position to win games. Last year, you had a lot of people calling for Malik Willis, calling for Ryan to be benched or traded. That would have been the absolutely wrong decision because Tannehill definitely gave us the best chance to win every game. And of course, you're going to have games where he throws interceptions. He's going to fumble. I mean, hey, we didn't have an offensive line at all last year. We have Dennis Daly out there protecting his blind side, and we were rotating guys in. Man, listen, give Tannehill a offensive line, a strong offensive line, dependable offensive line. Let him sit back there and make plays. As long as Tannehill is back there making plays, getting the ball to the receivers, doing what he's supposed to do, I don't think we'll see Will Levis this season. And that's long as Tannehill's not injured. I don't even think if Tannehill starts stinking it up, I still don't think they're going to throw Will Levis in. That's just my opinion. I feel like we're going to ride this thing out with Tanny. I mean, it's probably his last year. So, we're going to ride it out with Tannehill. We're going to get that money we paid. We're going to get that up out of his ass. we're going to get that money out your ass, Tanny. So we're going to put you out there. We're going to, hopefully, you and Traylon Burks, done built the rapport. You and the other receivers done built the rapport. And y'all going to bring, a nice offense. We got you a couple of decent weapons. Tannehill is going to be the man. Ben, to answer your question, I don't think Will Levis sees the field at all, if any, even at all this season. I don't think he's going to touch the field besides preseason. That's barring Tannehill's, doesn't get injured. Yeah, I just think Will Levis is going to sit back, learn from Tanny, and be prepared to see Will Levis the year after this year. What you think about that question, man?
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much nailed it. I mean, unless we trade Tannehill or Tannehill gets injured, or we just absolutely stink this year. I'm just saying, it's a possibility.
It's possible now. Yeah.
I really feel, and I think I want to cover that in our next show, but I don't want to leak out too much. But basically, I think we have an opportunity to get to 11, 12 wins. And I know a lot of people say I'm a homer about that, but I can explain it all out perfectly for you. And if you tune in next week, you'll find out why. But the thing is if it doesn't work out for us like I think it will, then we're going to just bomb. I don't think we're going to be mid at all. I think we're either going to be 10, 11 wins or 5, 4 wins. We don't want to be 8 or 9 wins. 8 or 9 wins is.
You saying we're going to be up here or we're going to stink? We're none of that middle of
the road stuff, man. Because honestly, you don't want that. That's purgatory for the NFL because that's where you pick. You don't get crap in the draft. I mean, it's just a bad place to be.
And you know what? You're absolutely right because it really hurts when you're in the middle of the road. But it does hurt worse when we got to go through a whole season only winning 1 or 2 games. Like, you got to kind of ask yourself what you're willing to put up with. Are you willing to suffer a season to get a good draft pick? Or are you willing, to be okay and just keep being okay? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of think that's what the Titans been for a long time. We just been okay. Ever since John Robinson came, he didn't take us to the next level, but we just been good enough. So, I mean, to get those players that's going to put us over the hump, we're going to have to suck a couple years. I mean, that's just what it is. We're going to have to suck, and we're going to have to, draft higher. I don't want to suck. I hate losing. So
I do too.
Man, I hate losing. So I can't say I want us to suck, but I do want us to eventually get those franchise-changing players, those Joe Burrows, those who else is it? Lamar Jackson's, a couple other players that, instantly turn your franchise into a winner. So I don't want us to be a bottom feeder because that's where the Jags belong. And I don't want to be down there with the Jags. But like you said, it's either gonna be boom or bust. And I kind of see that, man.
Well, and I like Newsom's point here too. That was another point I was going to make is Vrabel's not afraid to change quarterbacks. We saw that. When Mariota was getting paid all that money and Ryan Tannehill came over on that trade and was making low money before we gave him a big deal. Mm-hmm. He switched him out real quick and he didn't have no problem with that. He saw the best chance to win and went with it. That's what I like about Vrabel. But so there's that. And there's another one here that I want to address. Brown Chubby Bear. If Will Levis kills it in the preseason, then I think obvious answer is trade off Ryan Tannehill and go with Will Levis.
I'm gonna tell you who we need to trade. We need to trade fucking Malik Willis. We need to see if anybody wants that guy. We need to get a pick and maybe a lineman or something like that. Let's just ship him off. But
Derek disagrees with you.
Yeah. Hey, Derek. He's not it. I'm sorry. Personally, he's not it, man. He's a good athlete. He can run around, but he's not going to sit in that pocket, throw through his projections, and make the right pass. He doesn't have it in him. He's going to run.
Who he really reminds me of?
Who? Vince Young?
Marcus Mariota.
That's exactly, yeah.
Mariota was way more talented than he is as far as football. But his attitude, the way Marcus Mariota was very nonchalant, good boy, and cool, and I don't care, man. I don't care. It's cool. Everything's cool. That's not how quarterbacks are, man. When quarterbacks come in a room, you know it.
Yeah. Hey, we lost, but everything's gonna be okay. So, I mean, I can see what people are saying. Like, you don't draft the quarterback as high as we drafted Will Levis for him to sit. But you also don't pay a fucking quarterback $27 million for him to sit either. So, I feel like if Levis kills it in preseason, you got to just evaluate. Is he going to kill it in the regular season against the starters? Like, man, come on, man. Like, I really feel like Tannehill just keeps getting disrespected. I don't understand the Tannehill hate. The man hasn't done anything but ball since he's been in Tennessee.
Well, I think most of the hate comes from the postseason play.
Man, listen, it comes from one game, the fucking Bengals game. Man, I still have fucking nightmares about that game. I'm sure all the fucking other Titans fans still have nightmares about that game. That was our year. I don't even want to go into all that because that was our year. I mean, that was our team. Our defense had fucking 9 sons. Ooh, shit make me mad when I think about that game.
And I will say, in Ryan Tannehill's defense, because everybody knows I'm on the fence about Ryan Tannehill. He could come or go. I don't care. But as far as in defense of him, the Bengals that year intercepted a record. I think it was like 16 or 19 interceptions in the postseason. Their backup bunch was just ridiculous.
Man, they shouldn't have intercepted the fucking first pass of the game.
But read this right here from Mr. Newsom. Here, this is Did you watch the handoff that they did with Malik Willis, Michael?
He said Willis moved the tight end.
I don't want that man touching the ball.
I mean, he can run. He can run.
Did you see the jet sweep?
Yeah, I seen the fumble. He butterfingered it. He bobbled it. Hey, man, listen.
Look, I'm not a hater of Malik Willis, but yeah, it's just not. It's not.
He's just not it, man. Last year was a terrible year to draft a quarterback, and John Robinson did it. He did it. He went and got Will Levis when he probably should have got somebody else. But I said Will Levis, Malik Willis. Malik Willis is just not it, guys. I know a lot of people like him because he's real likable. I met him in person. He's a good, cool dude. He's not ever going to be the Titans franchise quarterback, y'all. And it's it's a reason they drafted Will Levis after drafting Malik Willis last year. It's a reason we had to go sign Josh Dobbs to play in a playoff game.
And he started.
And Malik Willis still didn't touch the field. He's not it, guys. The Titans don't think he's it. Vrabel doesn't think he is. Miss Amy doesn't even think he's it. She love him. She love him as a player, as a person, but he's not going to be the one that takes us to the Super Bowl. Shit, he ain't even going to take us to the postseason. So, sorry, Malik Willis. I know everybody keeps saying you're forgotten. You're just not it, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, the last thing I'm gonna say about Malik is he just not your. All right, yeah, you covered it. He just ain't it. He just ain't it. But let's cover this one here from Derek.
Derek says, "Why is there so much hate on our wide receiver court?" I don't think it's hate, Derek. It's kind of like it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's kind of being realistic now. I mean, who do we have? We got Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is our number one receiver. What has he done? I mean, he had a very subpar year as a rookie. He was hurt. I mean, how can you just hype that up? I mean, what do we have that you can honestly look and say, man, he's going to ball next year because of what he did last year?
I have a lot of hope for Treylon. I do have to say that just because he was injured a lot last year. I will give you that. And the asthma thing, I think, kind of held him back. He looks a lot better this year. I will say that already. You know what I mean? Just seeing him move around in practice and stuff. You see it last year. He was sluggish last year, man. Yeah. And then there was that picture of him like bent over with his holding his chest and all that, you know. So, but I think Treylon, honestly, I think there's a lot to hype up there about Treylon. I don't, people want to compare him to AJ Brown, and I think that's where the unfairness comes in.
Yeah, it's just unfair.
I mean, not every wide receiver comes out is like AJ Brown. You know, AJ Brown is something special. I mean, he's not like super special, but he is something special. Yeah, and I mean. I don't know that Treylon can get that.
He said hate. I mean, who else is it? I mean, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine.
Yeah.
Who is the guy
Chris
we
Moore.
saw? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then we got like Jacob Copeland, and then we got to start going into Colton Dowell.
Hey, honestly, Derek, to answer your question, I don't think there's a lot of hate. It's just a lot of
unproven.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unproven. I mean, it's a lot of people that just don't know, bro. It's unproven, so it's not a lot of confidence going into it. You can't honestly say, man, our wide receivers are going to ball next year. You can't say that and be real, be confident that we're going to ball out. We all, as Titans fans, we all hope and pray that Treylon Burks turn into he come out and turn into an AJ Brown type receiver, have good stats, and be up there with the other receivers in the NFL. But come on, man, we don't know that. He said,
Michael, you know what's crazy about this is I think I started the whole thing on this on the social media thing because I wrote the story about it and then I tweeted it and posted it, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, I just started seeing that everywhere. Everybody was talking about how Vrabel had more touchdown receptions than our wide receiver, and I thought it was hilarious. And that's great.
Man, listen, honestly, the most proven receiver we got on our, if we talking about production, the most proven wide receiver that we have on our roster right now is Derrick Henry. If we talking about production, like Phillips had more fumbles than Burks had receptions. That's why our wide receivers get no respect. They haven't earned any. Exactly. They haven't earned it. Phillips, I'm a big fan of Kyle Phillips. I'm going to be the first to tell you I really got high hopes for that kid. I want Phillips to come out and be Wes Welker, 0.2. But, man, listen, he has to prove it. After last year, he came out, showed little glimpses, but he got to prove it. Morocco says our group of our receivers may not turn out as bad as some of us making it out to be, but the handling of the situation by the Titans is honestly why people feel is a good group. And you are absolutely right, Morocco. I mean, with the AJ Brown trade first, and then us not bringing any good players in, like. After we shipped AJ Brown off, we drafted Treylon Burks, we drafted Kyle Phillips. But what else have we done, man? Like
exactly.
And
until they do something in the NFL, nobody's going to give them any respect.
Man,
and everybody says that, there's a lot of people out there that'll say that NWI doesn't get enough respect for what he's done for the Titans, but I love showing these OTA videos to point out the differences of players because I'm a coach. That's what I do. I coach players. So I look at little things. I see like hip movement and stuff like that. There was a video that all three wide receivers come out, did a cut, caught the ball, and then run back through a set of cones and caught the ball. And all three wide receivers did it. You saw Burks first, then you saw NWI, then you saw Phillips. And in that clip, I even posted it on my social media. If y'all want to check it out, go ahead.
It's on the Titans fan battle page too.
It's obvious that there is a major difference in between Burks and Phillips's agility, speed, burst off the line, the cut. I mean, everything. The way they dig, everything is just 100% better than NWI. He looks like a big, slow. He looks like if I was out there trying to do what these wide receivers were doing,
man, listen,
next to these guys.
I was so surprised that we re-signed him. Like, I understand that he's one of those guys that's like dependable. He was there. He was out there. They say, your best attribute is your accessibility. The quote they always use, you got to be out there. And he was out there. He made a couple plays. He had that one big game. I think it was against Denver where he had like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen again, guys. Like, I don't even see NWI as a number 2. The guy is a number 3. Like, he shouldn't – on any other team with legit receivers, he like 3 or 4, honestly, y'all. Mm-hmm. Only reason we know Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is because he played for the Titans, bro, and we suck at building wide receivers. Like, it's just a curse we got, bro. That's why I was so angry about the A.J. Brown trade. We finally draft a top-tier receiver. Like, we finally did it. John Robinson, you did it. But you shipped them the fuck off, bro. And then you dropped the ball on the Treylon Burks pick. Well, we don't know that yet. But if Treylon Burks doesn't turn out to be at least half of what A.J. Brown was, then you drop the ball, John Robinson. And I know you don't. And I know you don't give a fuck because you got fired. But yeah, Burks' percentage of downs played will tell the tale on our wide receivers. If he's missed 40% of the plays in our games again, our pass game is in trouble, definitely. And especially if we don't sign another receiver or bring another legit receiver in, we in trouble again. And I feel so fucking bad for Tannehill because he's gonna suck. He's gonna suck. Who is he gonna throw the ball to? And then y'all gonna be all on Facebook. Put Levis in. Who the fuck is Levis gonna pass the ball to, bro? Yeah. It's not going to be on the quarterbacks. the Titans have to address this wide receiver position, bro. And that's why we sit back and we hope and pray that Colton Dowell is good. We hope Kyle Phillips bounces back. Treylon Burks does what he does, because it's going to fall back on our quarterback and it's going to fall on our offense. And hopefully we can just throw it to Chig every play and Treylon Burks. Don't forget about Chig. He's almost like a wide receiver, y'all. So we can't use that guy. He's explosive. So, I mean, we forget about him when we talking about explosive. Shout out to Chig. We're going to need you this year, big guy.
Yeah. We were talking about big tight ends, and then we'll have to wrap up the show because we're ending kind of early tonight for a special. Yeah. Shout out to tight ends. We were talking about, Wycheck and Delanie Walker. Delanie Walker, the Chig. I don't know if y'all remember when Delanie came over from the 49ers, but it wasn't the first year he didn't blast onto the scene. It was the second year he blasted onto the scene. The first year he got I think 500 yards and 8 touchdowns or something like that. Towards the end of the year, he really come on. And that's why he had such a great season the next year, because they saw what he could be. Yeah. But when he came in, he was a backup tight end. And Chig had very close numbers. As a matter of fact, I mean, most touchdowns to any tight end rookie or any tight end period. I can't remember.
Chig had a good rookie season. And that's something to be – that's something – I mean, as bad as we feel about Treylon Burks and Kyle Phillips rookie seasons, we did have a good rookie season from our tight end, and we did draft another tight end, the Josh Whyle guy. So, hey, we got some stuff to build on. We just need them to produce. So, if we produce, we're going to be a lot better than we think we are, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
So, it's going to be all about production on offense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, that's pretty much going to do it for our show tonight. We do want to let you know that coming up, the reason that we are doing a condensed show tonight and we're ending earlier than we want to because we want to keep talking, obviously. But the reason we're ending the show is because on AFC Fan Battle Sports Podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's a mouthful. They are having a special guest on with Jim Wyatt. And they're also going to have Morocco and RJ from the Titans Coliseum podcast. And that's coming up here at 9:30 or 8:30, 9:30.
Yeah. So in other words, after we go off, y'all need to stay tuned in to the Fan Battle Sports Network. Go watch the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. They got Jim Wyatt coming on from the Tennessee Titans. They also got my boy, you know who his name is. They got my boy Morocco, and they got my boy RJ from the Titans Coliseum, another podcast that's doing their thing. Go check them out. Me and my boy Max, we're going to come keep hitting you with heavy hitters every Monday at 7:30. Shout out my boy Max. Y'all just keep rocking with us. We got heat coming. It's just going to get better, man. Y'all see we got an intro now. Hey, we going to start having guests on the show. It's only going to get better, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hey, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, hey. Thank you, everybody. You want to tell them where they can find you at?
Y'all can find me on Facebook. It's Flame Douglas. I ain't really on too much of the socials, but go find me there. And you can follow the Titans Fan Battle Podcast Facebook page. That's where you can keep up with most of the stuff on the podcast. Me and my boy Max is going to run that page. If you need to reach any of us and you don't want to hit our personal page, you can definitely look on there.
Yeah, and you can find me, Maximus Titan Fan, everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's all the same. Thank you for joining us tonight. And that was episode 2 of the Titans Fan Battle Titans Fan Battle Podcast. Man, I can't talk tonight. Y'all enjoy it and peace out.